Hi friends, just a quick update before we jump into this week's video. So you probably know that our RV has broken down. We are in a hotel in New England. We'll be here for a couple more weeks probably, but it looks like everything is going to be fixed on the RV, and we're getting things covered that we need to have covered, and hopefully we'll come out with a better RV on the end of this. So I will fill you in on everything that happened and what the repairs were once we get to that point in the timeline. So you probably also know that our videos are actually a few weeks behind where we are in real time. So right now we're going to hop back to the beginning of May when we were in Door County, Wisconsin. Enjoy.
Where are we at, Leith?
We are at Robertson Orchards in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin.
What do they specialize in?
Well, they have cherries and apples here, you pick, but we are here a little bit early in the season, so we're just getting what they have in their store. Frozen cherries from their farm and some dried cherries. Welcome, circuit riders, to Door County, Wisconsin. We are up here for the next couple of weeks, and we are exploring the peninsula on the Lake Michigan side of Wisconsin. Now, we don't really know anything about Door County except that it's a wonderful vacation land for people up here. We have some friends who vacation here and they've given us lots of good ideas. So I thought in this video I would highlight some of the little towns that are in Door County. Every time you look at a magazine or the billboard or something, it says go to Egg Harbor, go to Sister Bay, go to Washington Island. So I'll kind of split this video up in the towns. Now, our campground is right outside of the town of Sturgeon Bay, which is kind of at the bottom part of the northern half of the peninsula. So Sturgeon Bay comes in from Lake Michigan kind of halfway across the peninsula, and then they've built a shipping canal to connect the bay with the other side of the peninsula so boats can go through here easily. So it's a lovely little town here right on the bay. Our campground is within walking distance of the water, and we are also right next to a huge state park that I cannot pronounce the name of, so I'll put it down below here.
We're walking there now.
But we just crossed over from our campground into the state park,
It's
which
along the water there behind us.
you can walk into here. You have to pay to drive in, but we could just walk in for free. And there's something here in Wisconsin called the Ice Age Trail, and it follows I think the ancient lake shore. I don't know why it's called the Ice Age Trail, but you know, this whole Great Lakes area was made because of the Ice Age glaciers that receded. So we're walking on the Ice Age Trail right here through the state park. And this is actually the eastern terminus of the trail. And then it goes across Wisconsin to the Minnesota border. So thanks for coming along. We're going to have a great week.
Two males dying for attention. And we're bundled up a little bit here, huh? Because we are here in the shoulder season, or the beginning shoulder season. I think you read that really it's not till July that it's really the high season.
Yeah, May and June are considered the shoulder season here, and we are at the very beginning of May. So there is hardly any people. Even in the town of Sturgeon Bay, when I drove around yesterday, like after dinner, the streets are empty. There's a big Walmart and Target here, and they were mostly empty. I was really surprised to see so little people in the town, but I'm sure it just balloons in the summertime. So it's been in the high 40s to mid 50s during the day,
Yeah, those
but very sunny.
and not really windy, nice clear skies.
We are so thankful to have a break from the wind of coming across the prairies and the plains of Kansas and Illinois. It was really
rainy
getting
and
to us.
cloudy in some of that
Yeah.
stretch too. So this is
It was getting hard. So I'm glad to be back in the sun, and we are glad to be exploring this brand new place that we've never been to before, northern Wisconsin. Door County is a peninsula. Of course, there's plenty of waterfront towns and activities to be had, but something special about Sturgeon Bay is that because the shipping canal comes through here, it has the Door County Maritime Museum, and also there's a Coast Guard station here down by the lighthouse. So a little bit more official waterfront and shipping things here in Sturgeon Bay. And we're discovering that they've got some lovely historical sites here too. This is a big complex called the Crossroads at Big Creek. They've got a little historical town here that you can tour. This Hansen house is a traditional Scandinavian built house in the area, and some lovely walking trails through here. In addition to cherries, Wisconsin is also known for cheese, so we made sure to stop by Renard's Artisan Cheese Shop. It is a wonderful little gift shop and cheese shop. They've got so many different snacks in there. There's a master cheesemaker who owns this, so we got some yummy snacks here. Another great stop in the Sturgeon Bay area.
You have a different kind of traffic jam here at the beginning of the season up in Door County. What's this called? The stretch?
Jensen's Curvy Road.
It is curvy.
Maybe when Jensen had a farm here, he wanted the road to be interesting, so he made it curvy. I don't know the story.
Traffic slower.
Today we're heading to the very top of Door Peninsula to Washington Island. It's a little group of islands off the north coast of Door Peninsula in Lake Michigan, and it's the barrier between Lake Michigan and Green Bay. So we're just waiting for the ferry now. We're going to take the truck over and spend the day on the island. I'm really excited because there's a huge lavender farm over there that I'm looking forward to visiting, and some Scandinavian heritage things that we want to see. So Washington Island actually has one of the largest communities of Icelandic people outside of Iceland. But I say the largest, but it's really not that many people. It's about almost 50 people live on the island, but they're descended from these 4 Icelandic guys that came over and settled here in 1870. There were already some German and Irish immigrants that settled here earlier in the 1800s. But these 4 Icelanders that came in 1870 really made a mark on the island. They established farms and businesses there, and a lot of their descendants still live here. So we're excited to learn a little bit more about the Icelandic history there today. This waterway that connects Lake Michigan to Green Bay is known as Death's Door, and that name comes from an old story about an Indian tribe that had a bunch of wartime canoes that were traveling as a band through this strait between Washington Island and the mainland, and they were shipwrecked against the rocks. It's very rocky here, and whether that legend about the Indian tragedy is true, there have been several dozen shipwrecks here in the strait. So it was named by the French explorers as Death's Door, and that's where the name Door County and Door Peninsula comes from. So we are about to cross Death's Door on the ferry over to Washington Island. Oh my goodness, it smells delicious in here.
It's very pretty too.
Wow. What a beautiful store. This is one of the largest lavender farms in the country, and unfortunately they're not in bloom right now, but you can still smell it. It smells so delicious. And our daughter, you may know, is getting married at the end of this summer. We're having her bridal shower next month when we get back to New England, and her theme color for her wedding is lavender. So I was so excited to come here, and we have a big haul of lavender stuff for her wedding. Just down the street from the lavender farm is the Stavkirke. This is a reproduction of a medieval church that would have been in the Scandinavian region, and they've just built it here. I think that it's probably only been here for about 30 or 40 years, but they built it here as reminder of the Scandinavian heritage of the Door County area, and just to show people what these medieval wooden churches used to look like. Wow.
Remember in Chile, the boats and all the...
What beautiful carvings there are in here. This was built in 1991, so not that long ago. But they've done a beautiful job with the carvings.
However you pronounce that, Han Erupstanden means he resurrected in Norwegian.
Like the tree, like
We're stopping at Nelson's Hall Pub for a reason I'll tell you in a minute, but I wanted to grab a geocache here because even though I have a geocache in Wisconsin already, I don't have one on Washington Island, which is pretty cool. And here's a really big one. When we go into this pub, it's famous because during Prohibition, they figured out, and I think we've seen this in other states too, they figured out that if you called yourself a pharmacy, you could serve certain amounts of alcohol for medicinal purposes. So you would go to the bar counter and get your prescription for alcohol, and then you could drink it and not be subject to prohibition. So this place is famous for serving bitters, like a shot of bitters. And normally you don't drink bitters by themselves. They're a mix in a cocktail or something. But this island is famous for just drinking shots of bitters because of prohibition. I think it said that Washington Island residents drink the most amount of bitters of anyone in the country. Yay, it's open.
Somebody else is coming.
probably. So,
Oh, so we have to sign the logbook.
once you've done your shot, if
All
you'd
right.
like to comment, feel free. And you guys are going to fill out your name and date on the only line provided. Once you've completed your shot, thumb in, shot glass, thumbprint on card for validation.
You gotta drink it first. Don't sign it till you drink it.
Yep, gotta do your paperwork first. Just a quick shot then, or?
No, I'm gonna.
Okay, that's not bad. Don't get psyched out. Christmas tree in the shot glass.
To make it official, I've signed and dated it, and then I just have to basically.
There you go.
There.
And what does this card say?
I'm part of the.
We're part of the Bitters Club. We're now considered full-fledged islanders and entitled to mingle, dance, etc. with the other islanders. That's fun.
They also market things like.
It's not bad. It is Angostura bitters, but it tastes nice and clovey and warm. And we are not shooters, so we're just sipping it. Well, that was fun. So the bartender did confirm that this place is in the Guinness World Record book as serving the most Angostura bitters in the world. He said that's even been confirmed by the Angostura rep that supplies this store.
He said the Australians drink a lot of bitters, and this place sells more than the entire nation of Australia each year.
Impressive. I would say for Washington Island, we prefer having our car here. We paid, I think, $28 or $30 to bring the truck over on the ferry, plus fees for each of us. So it cost us $58, which we thought was worth it because the island is 6 miles long by 5 miles wide. So it's quite large, and there's no big tourist town right off of the island ferry like there is on Mackinac Island or Martha's Vineyard. You can't just like walk off the ferry and be in a tourist town. There's not much right at the ferry dock, so you'd at least want to rent a bike, or looks like they have some side-by-side ATVs that you could rent down by the ferry as well.
A moped rental right there too.
Yeah, but there's also something called the Cherry Train. That's like a little tourist train that will take you around the island, and I think you can buy a combo ticket for the ferry and the Cherry Train. I don't think it's running yet. It probably only runs in later, like in the high season in the summertime. This is mid-May, and I don't see it running today, and there's not very many people here today. But anyway, that's an option for you if you don't want to bring your car. But we love driving around all the back roads and seeing all the little museums and stuff anyway. There's a little museum here called the Jacobsen Museum that I believe has some more information about the Icelanders who lived in the area, but it's closed. It doesn't open until the summertime, and there's not very much information on the plaques out here. So I didn't really get to find out as much about the Icelander guys today as I wanted to, but I'm still glad that we came to the island because it's beautiful and it was great to drive around and see lots of fun sights today. So thanks for coming along to Washington Island. Here's another Stavskirke. This is on the mainland of Dore Peninsula on the eastern side at Björklunden University. This was also a more modern building. It's a replica of a 15th century Stavskirke, but this one was built in around 1939, so it is a little bit older. It's a little bit smaller than the one on Washington Island, but absolutely gorgeous inside. Some really nice murals on the walls. Also down the east side of Dore Peninsula is Cave Point Park. And this is unique because it's got some really high bluffs here that go along the lake shore of Lake Michigan. And I don't know if it's dolomite or limestone, but you can see that the water is kind of crashing against the rock and it's made some underwater caves and kind of carved out the rock. Well, this line of bluffs is part of the Niagara Escarpment, and that means that this line goes all the way through the Great Lakes to Niagara Falls, and this is the same bluff system that creates Niagara Falls in New York. Very cool. Up near the town of Egg Harbor, which we haven't visited yet because we stopped first at the Dore County Distillery and the Dore Peninsula Winery. This place is really great because it's got everything together in one building, the distillery and the winery. And the winery also sells hard cider and mead. So we've done a couple of tastings today.
Salsa,
all kinds of things.
It's a good spot to stop at.
So what did we buy? We bought spiced rum, a couple different kinds of, well, we bought one wine, one cider.
Some fudge. Salsa.
Cherry salsa, and and a fridge magnet.
This was magnet worthy.
Yeah. And now we're going to walk across the street. There's a little bit of shopping across there so we can walk for a little bit before we get back in the truck and head over to Egg Harbor. So here's the Egg Harbor Public Beach. You know, every little town on Dore Peninsula has a cute main street with little shops and restaurants. They're all, you know, very touristy and lovely. But each town kind of has its own character. And Egg Harbor has this beautiful harbor here. And the winery and distillery is very cool. The weather has just turned and it's so lovely. It feels like summer here. Now you can see that there's no one else here. It's the middle of the day, in the middle of the week. And we are the only ones on this beach. So I've really liked being here in Dore County in the shoulder season. I wasn't sure how the weather would work being here in the first 2 weeks of May because the season here really doesn't kick off until the 4th of July. But it's been lovely to be kind of have the run of the place here and not have crowds to deal with. And there's only been maybe 2 places that I really wanted to visit that were not open yet. Most places are open now, but they might have limited hours. So just check your times and make sure you're going at a time when things are open and you'll be fine. But I really like being here, you know, when the crowds are down. And it worked out well for us to come through here in early May. We're just pulling over to fill up with diesel here in Dore County. And I just want to remind any of you that have diesel engines that the new BP stations that are going up all around the country have green pumps for all of their regular gas. Now, any diesel owner knows that when you pull up to a truck stop or any regular gas station, the diesel pumps are always green. But at BP, remember, don't fill up at the green pump because that's going to be regular gas. At this station that we're at right now, the diesel pumps are yellow and they're labeled diesel. But just be really careful because that's bad news. Probably the most famous restaurant in Dore County, at least the one I've heard the most about, is Al Johnson's Swedish restaurant. And it's very unique because it's got this grass roof on it. And in the summertime, he puts goats up there and the goats graze on the roof. I don't think they're out right now. They don't come out until the summertime. So we are looking forward to having a traditional Swedish lunch here. And they also have a nice gift shop here as well. So there's two different stores here. The Skull gift shop that we were just in is a more contemporary, more touristy gift shop. And then inside of the restaurant is the boutique, spelled in a Swedish way, but pronounced boutique. And this is a more traditional Swedish fare.
Nice view.
We have lingonberry jam,
There.
Swedish jam. Nice.
The town right next to Sister Bay to the south is Ephraim, and this is a really picturesque little town by the water. They've got a great town hall that was built in 1927 that has kind of that Viking architecture with the little dragon gargoyle wooden features at the top. That's really pretty. You know, I talked a little bit before about being here in the off season. We're in early May and things really don't kick off until 4th of July in Door County, and we can see a lot of activity going on right now. The local people are sprucing up the buildings and cleaning things and pouring cement and repairing roofs, so we can see that they're getting ready for the rush. But I was thinking about how when you travel in an RV full-time, you're not always going to be able to be in every place at the high season. Sometimes you're gonna just be there when you can be there, and if it's something where you're planning a specific vacation because you want to go see someplace, then you want to go in the high season. That's your 1 or 2 weeks of vacation that you get per year, and you're gonna make sure that you're there at the best time. But when you're just traveling through the country in an RV, you just want to explore every place that you are. So if you have to go someplace in the off season, just take advantage of it. Maybe everything's not open, or maybe there's limited services, but you can still get a great feel for the area and have that experience and collect it and then move on to the next place. Guys, what if we built something like this for our cabin on our main land? It's kind of the look we're going for. We keep pulling over to places in Door County and saying, oh, that looks like a great shape. Oh, that looks like a great size. So this is the Anderson Homestead in Ephraim, Wisconsin. There's a little house. This is a lending research library, right? Not a lending library, a research library right now for the town history. And there's a little barn over here that was probably, this area was probably the homestead. But across the street, we're going to walk down in a minute, is another special Anderson site that looks very cool.
And here's the original homestead. I don't know what that little building is over there.
Okay, we got some better intel from the gift shop lady in here. This is the original Anderson homestead house. And actually, it was just this rear part that was built by the original Anderson family in the late 1800s. The little library cabin that we were just looking at across the yard was not part of the original homestead at all. It was part of a resort that was in downtown Ephraim a long time ago. And when they were tearing down the resort to build condos, they saved this one cabin and moved it over here to become the library. So kind of a funny story. But I like that little cabin. It is very cute. And then across the main road, there's another restoration of the Anderson store that was here, 1858 to 1958. Wow. And then further down next to the store is the Anderson Dock. That's a really special place to the locals here, it sounds like, because you'll notice that it's covered with graffiti. And what the town has done is they've encouraged boaters to sign their name or maybe their ship's name and the year that they were docked here, just kind of as a memento. And it's created this lovely art piece here on the Anderson Homestead property. We have had a beautiful time in Door County for the past couple of weeks, and I think we saw everything. I think we literally drove on every road in Door County, so we feel like we have gotten the most out of our trip here. We are heading today to the UP, which is another item on our bucket list that we've always wanted to see, so we're excited to take you along there next week. And today is also a very special day because it's our 2-year Nomadiversary. We have been full-time on the road for 2 years. On our first Nomadiversary was the day that we arrived in northern Maine to stay at the KOA, and we got our land up there and started making property and a home for ourselves up there. So that was exciting. Today we are moving on, and we have no plans to stop anytime soon. So thanks for coming along with us, and I hope you have a great week. Bye, guys. Hey, wait. Happy Nomadiversary.
Same to you and yours. It doesn't feel like 2 years, but it also feels like we've just been doing this for a long time.
Yeah. We're getting in we're in the groove. We're not getting in the groove. We're in
Yeah, when we see new people doing this, we think, oh,
oh, they're new.
look at those newbies.